The light drizzle had stopped just a moment ago. The air smelled of burnt asphalt and the distant smoke of factories. Instead of a bus, the story begins with Arjun walking along the shoulder of the highway, backpack on his shoulders, shoes dripping. He turns at a sign illuminated by a flickering lamppost, Singhal Station, 24 Urge. Determined and exhausted, he remembers his sick mother and the crumpled tuition receipt in his pocket. This isn't a party, it's necessity. Along the way, a stray dog follows him for a few meters, barking softly as if sensing the young man's anxiety before vanishing into the mist. Arjun stares at the station's facade, blinking neon signs and an old clock display marking 0030. He takes a deep breath and calls Bhaskar to share his mixture of relief and fear. "Did you get it?" his friend asks over the phone. "Yes, I got the job, but the conditions..." Arjun sighs. He explains he'll be working the night shift after classes. Worried, Bhaskar insists he shouldn't take it, mentioning rumors about that stretch of road. Arjun, with no other choice, says he will try. The manager, via message, instructs him to enter, take the key, and follow instructions that even he considers weird. Arjun hesitates before the glass office door. To his left is a locked drawer that creaks as it opens. Inside, a red-covered notebook stained with oil. On the first page, scribbles and rules, not just practical instructions, but warnings with a dry and urgent tone. New elements added to the notebook, a scribbled map with an endless route marked in red, no legend, a small drawing of an overturned bus with the time 03 Zegru handwritten, an inscription in faded ink, "Do not turn on the radio, they hear through vibrations." The basic rules are there, rewritten in a shorter, harsher tone. Do not ask about the customer's destination. Pump gas, even if the headlights are off. If you receive freezing bills, use the old tin box. After 03, do not look outside. Do not open anything. The final warning is blunter. If you hear a horn at 03:0, you have failed. There will be no escape. As he reads, Arjun notices two boxes among piles of papers, one modern and locked, the other an old tin, shattered by rust, and he notices a label, "Old, do not use." The label is partially covered in soot, but his hand seems to hesitate to touch it. To calm his nerves, Arjun takes a sip of tea left in a disposable cup. The tea is bitter like a grandmother's medicine. The steam reminds him of home, and the urge to quit tightens in his chest. Before he hangs up his phone, the manager sends one last message. Follow what is in the notebook, not one line less. The call cuts out. Outside, the neon lights flicker as if someone were recoiling in fear. Out of nowhere, a black car appears with no headlights, pulling up slowly. From the back seat comes a metallic, calm voice asking, "Fill the tank." Arjun, remembering another warning scribbled in the notebook, "Do not mess with the lights," works automatically, as if learned gestures could protect him. When the window rolls down slightly, a hand emerges. Not a warm hand, but a bundle of pale bones tangled like an ancient branch. The bills that slide between the bony fingers burn Arjun's fingertips with intense cold. He places the money in the rusted tin box, feeling a shiver run up his entire body. The car departs slowly, leaving the sound of metal scratching against the asphalt and a feeling that something remained in the air like permanent smoke. Tension rises. The office clock reads 02:45. Arjun finds a folded newspaper on a nearby shelf. The headline is old, 1998, showing a bus overturned on a curve and 4 other columns of piled-up cars. The caption reads, "Fatal accident on Bombay Road, 030, all passengers deceased." A chill runs through Arjun. If the victims didn't know they died, perhaps they always return to the last place they remember. 03 Zhao's arrives. First a flicker of light, then a blackout. In the darkness, voices form outside, not exactly human, more like echoes trapped in old throats, footsteps that do not touch the ground, a whispering choir speaking in dialects and truncated words. Arjun, following the rules, tries not to look, but his curiosity is a wound. He pulls the curtain back just enough to see the silhouettes. They are shadows dressed in wrinkles and silence. Eyes like cold embers glow in dull green. They have no solid outline. They float like human-shaped. Smoke. The black alto returns and begins to honk, a raw sound that won't stop. The shadows turn as if the sound were a password. Heavy thumps shake the office door. The bolt vibrates. The walls groan. Arjun's heart feels like it's leaping out of his throat. He doesn't know whether to call Bhaskar, pray, or run. When he picks up his phone, he sees Bhaskar tried to call. On the other end, instead of his friend, the same repetitive voice. Fill the tank. 3 words, always the same, like a broken mantra. Arjun can't take it. His blood pressure spikes and he faints. When he wakes up to a bright morning, there is dust and overturned cups on the floor, as if a party of wind had passed through. The car and the shadows have disappeared. In the spot where the alto had been, a key, simple metallic shimmers under the sun. Arjun holds it with trembling hands. Soon the manager appeared in the office, as calm as if it were routine. He doesn't deny the facts. He explains in a tired, almost paternal voice that, in that accident, many people lost track of their own death. They repeat night after night the last gesture they remember. They arrive at the station, ask for a fill-up, pay, and continue a journey that never ends. The station is a last stop. The rules exist to prevent the living from giving them the key to memory. Asking their destination is to reopen a wound that binds them to our dimension. The cold bills. They are remnants of a time, says the manager. The old box keeps what belongs to them, because new money is of no use, and perhaps because messing with the wrong vault is messing with the order of things. The manager shares a detail that both calms and terrifies him. One of the shadows, for some reason, accepted death that night. Before disappearing, it left the key on the ground, a gesture of gratitude that signifies rest. Arjun, still exhausted, looks at the horizon of Bombay Road shimmering with the first cars of the day. He answers Bhaskar's phone call, who is asking for news. Without saying much, he simply speaks a short, sad sentence. Some wait without ending. I'll be back tonight. The final scene adds a small element. The dog that accompanied him at the start reappears, sits beside the station, looks at Arjun as if it knows something, and lets out a single short howl, which sounds like both a warning and a mourning at the same time. Arjun takes a deep breath. He no longer knows if it is courage or resignation pushing him toward another night.